I'm about to head out to do some errands and go to the farmer's market, and this is my farmer's market outfit. And I cleaned my love whistle so it works now, and I put it on a new string, and I'm feeling kind of creative and inspired right now, so I made this. And then I put a Bodhi leaf in there and a pepper tree leaf, and they're both very magical. And now I feel like buying a magical backpack to carry some magical supplies in. And I have lots of ideas today. I'll get back to you later. I'm stuck in traffic on the highway. Something popped in my mind. There's this factor in my life of lifestyle design, but there's also this factor of how am I related to others, or what is it that I do in a concise statement. I've heard before people creating their elevator pitch about what they do, and I feel like that changes on a daily basis. But today I feel like it would be cool to make people feel magical, or make people feel the magic of life. And I don't like the word make. I don't know what a better word for that is at the moment. Because I created that little notebook, which is a magical notebook with the cool leaves from California. And then I felt like getting a magical backpack, which I've thought about for myself before. I probably mentioned that in one of my first videos. So getting a colorful backpack that maybe even says magical, and putting fun things to give away in it, as well as the stuff I need to walk around this earth. I could almost see it as something that if I had all of that in the backpack, I could just go. Things like a passport, enough hearty nutritionals for a while, ID, money, blah blah blah. My phone, my laptop. Having everything necessary to wander with love. Because today I might go back and get some more of those cool little notebooks, because they're really neat and I like what they say on the front. And I'm inspired to give some away and write in them myself. And I was thinking about creating a more concise course or something, because I do plan to give away all these dialogues for free, but it'd be cool to create something that can produce some kind of financial abundance, or a little bit of financial abundance at least, because now that I've tapered off the meds and I'm in that period of time thinking, well, now what? What's life all about? How do I live? And having poverty as part of one's life, or living below the poverty line, I wouldn't say I live in poverty, has just been something that goes with having a mental health diagnosis. So now that I've moved beyond that in terms of supporting that with nutrients, I don't know if I can accept living in poverty anymore, because I don't feel I need a lot for myself. I do want to purchase healthier foods, organic, and have the right fuel going through my body. I'm perfectly happy with my 1992 Toyota Corolla until it gives up on me. But I want to be able to be generous and altruistic. Oh, that's something I was doing that I forgot to finish when I was at home, is I signed up for Charity Chimp, which is a service that helps a person donate money. And I was going to donate $20 to this charity that helps women who are on the street. And I have before, but I think I forgot to finish doing that. I was signed up, but I didn't finish donating. So anytime that scarcity stuff enters my mind, I want to be able to donate or give away, and I already do that stuff, but it'd be fun to have that as part of my lifestyle design. And now we're literally stopped on the highway and I have to pee. That's not good. And it's really hot in here, but I have my driver window closed so then I can talk to myself. So today feels more of a magical day. Holy crap, this is not moving. It's fun when this moves and I just sing along, but right now it's not moving, and I could have taken a detour, but I missed it. I've been watching this free seed launch program thing, and it's a lot to learn, but I was thinking if I could launch a little course or something that would show me how to do that, so then I could help other people like me do that, because I've talked about how it's important to share our gifts and learn how to share our gifts. So in this next period of time, well, I'm seeing if this Hearty Nutritionals will prevent crisis up until mid-February. If I could learn how to do that, then not only might I thrive, but I'll also learn a process of how to share one's gifts when one moves into connecting and sharing with one's gifts and sharing one's altruism. Because I say altruism, share one's gifts and everything, but if I don't figure out how to do that in a certain way, then it's not really that helpful. Because I feel like as more of us transcend, we're not going to want to live in poverty. We're not going to want to live in the same lifestyle as we did when we were on medications and in the system. Otherwise, it's just taking micronutrients instead of taking meds. And if the life is exactly the same, the only difference is we might live longer and not lose our 25 years because of the toxic medications and everything. But it's not going to be that different. So in terms of the course, I was thinking about how safety is important, and I used things like a Zap strap and PRNs to keep myself safe. Also, creating my own context helped to create safety for me. But the thing I've realized that I wasn't necessarily doing, and I don't think I could have done it, was designing my life concurrently while tapering off meds. And I sort of did that because I was living my lifestyle design of going to California, living my dream, and by living in that flow helped to bring about circumstances to lead me into a path of healing and being off the meds altogether. And then coming back home, I'm pretty sure it would have been hard to design my life back home before I came back home. So I don't think it necessarily applied to me, but say for example somebody's living in a certain situation in life, and imagine being able to go somewhere like a creative healing respite to taper off psych meds and get onto micronutrients. But the important thing is, if one feels like they're going to go back to that life after they taper and say they stay for 3 months or something, then it's important to design what one wants as a life and what to move towards and unfold after the process of tapering. But during the process of tapering, design and start creating that and envisioning that, which we can draw on our first states of altered states of consciousness, our first experiences, and harvest that and use it to inform lifestyle design and creation and self-direction and self-creation after the process of tapering. So I'm doing this now, but I feel like it could be done at the same time, or part of the inspiration for feeling like it's a good idea to taper in the first place. For example, realizing that one is no longer tethered to a series of mental health appointments and psychiatrist appointments, and needing to be near one's favorite hospital, and needing to, so many things. So what would life look like? And then I realized today that that's one thing I'm doing, and I would like to do in these next months at the same time, is do that which I might create a course around. And I've already done a lot of it, which is the tapering part, but now it's the lifestyle design and creation of one's life at the same time. And so, for example, today I thought of how by mid-February, which is the 9-month mark of being on only hearty nutritionals to support this bipolar diagnosis, I want to perhaps get a camper van and have that as a mobile lifestyle to start to drive around once the weather starts to get nicer again. So that's part of my lifestyle design. So right now, having a few hours in peer support and might help to make that possible by having a little bit more money. So yeah, designing my lifestyle where I'd want to be a bit more mobile in BC after February, after the 9-month mark of being on micronutrients only. And then after that, when the weather changes next year and starts to get crummy in, say, October, get out of the country again. So that's part of my lifestyle design, which, in saying that, it doesn't really mesh with having a full-time office job out of province. So this is me designing my ideal life after tapering and after reaching the dream I already had of going to California for an extended period of time, as well as tapering off meds. So the Hearty Nutritionals has helped me reach my dreams, and now it's time to design new dreams and draw on the dreams and visions that I had when I was in MAP consciousness, in a trance conscious state 6 years ago, going back to that original blueprint. And also feeling like I want to share the Hearty Nutritionals with my family. They don't know that I've tapered off meds at this point, so I haven't shared it with them because they don't know. But right now I'm going to the ministry because I'm on disability, and so I get a bit of an amount of money for that. And I realized that there is something called the monthly nutrition supplement, where people can qualify for an amount of money for vitamins and minerals depending on what's going on, like what condition they have. So I'm feeling like I can go there and get that piece of paper to apply, and then go and see my psychiatrist, which I wasn't planning on doing per se, but this is a pretty good reason to, because if I can get them to fill out the form, and if I get approved for vitamins and minerals for bipolar disorder, and I bring some of the studies published and I say I'm on these micronutrients only and it's supporting me, so I would like some funding towards this. If I can do that for myself, then I might be able to share Hearty Nutritionals with people and say, at least in my area, that there's a way to remove the financial barrier. Because the Hearty Nutritionals actually isn't that much money, but it is money when somebody might be getting free medications provided by the government, and then all of a sudden having to pay, say, $100 to $150 to $200 a month for supplements and vitamins and minerals. That's a lot of money. So I think one of the biggest barriers is financial. Another barrier is educational. And I'm starting to pick up speed, so I'll stop talking now. Pit stop. I remember a few years ago when I was in this hyper creative space, I was a little bit late for my job sometimes, and I didn't feel like I was running late. I felt like I was running inspired. So I created that reframe from running late to running inspired. And what if we were allowed, in quotes, to run late if we were running inspired, because that inspiration might transfer into the job. So being inspired in one's daily routine life and then going to work inspired and a few minutes late versus trying to be on time and missing that window of inspiration. And I was also thinking about the term stealing fire by Stephen Kotler and Jamie Wheel's book, and then Touched with Fire in that movie about bipolar disorder. And what if we were inspired by fire, not just touched with it, but inspired by it, and that inspiration transforms into action, inspired action. And I was also thinking about how sometimes when we have a thought or we're saying something and someone interrupts us, we can't remember what we were saying. Mid-sentence, we can't finish the sentence, but if we start the sentence again, then we know the whole sentence. Kind of like the song of ABCs. Sometimes it's easier to just sing the whole song than it is to start partway to start saying the letters. And I was thinking about that in terms of creativity and how it seems like creativity is like that. Because I remember years ago when I was in this creative space, I'd wake up the next day and I'd start doing the same thing from the beginning again. Like I'd create a new email account, or I'd create a new this or that I already created, but I couldn't remember that I created it because I was sort of mid-sentence by the end of the day. And so I feel like it could be important to complete whatever the creation is in a day, or I'm just seeing this now, whatever one creates, be able to create it in a day, because it won't necessarily be there the next day. It'll be mid-sentence and then we'll start the whole thing over again. So can our creativity, at least one of the modes of it, be completed in a day, what we can do in a day? That's why I have trouble with this whole creating a course or something, because it takes more than a day, and that's why I like making these videos, because it doesn't take more than a day. I can make one every day or several a day, but it's not something that takes more than a day, because then I forget the next day what I was doing. It's sort of like if we memorize a speech, it's easy to say the whole thing. And I remember this from stand-up comedy. I couldn't remember any of the jokes that I was telling, but if I had the first few words, I could tell the whole joke, but there's no way I could start mid-joke or anything like that. So I was seeing that while I was driving, related to creativity and setting it up somehow so we don't forget what we're doing mid-sentence.
This is a good sandwich.
A sign that I'm trying to do too much at once, I told a potential employer that I have to pee by text because I thought I was texting someone else. So yeah, doing too much. And I stopped at Dollarama and got 15 more of those notebooks, and I found a new one that I didn't get. Open Your Heart. I think they make cool little random gifts, and today I gave away one in a baggie with a Bodhi leaf, and I think it brightened that person's day. So mission accomplished. So yeah, I got a bunch of these different ones. I'm gonna try and bring this tree back to life with swirl water, with alive water. It's been watered once a week with regular water, and it's practically dead, but see.